You are now tuned in to The Money Zone with your host, Folasade, the accountant for entrepreneurs. The time is now, your future waits, your money matters, make no mistake, it's not too late to dominate, so don't delay, get your money straight. The money zone, together we'll achieve your goals, we're building wealth, you're not alone, so don't delay, get your money straight.
Hey guys, welcome. It's your girl Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. I am so excited to be back with you guys today. So if you guys are this is your first time tuning in, I'm Folasade, the accountability accountant, the host of the Money Zone on RadioNetwork.com. Guys, we talk about everything relative to your small business, your money, your accounting, your taxes, and everything at mommypreneur, family, everything, guys. Look, nothing is left unspoken. So if this is your first time tuning in, please share the stream however way you are watching, either on RadioNetwork.com or any social media. Please share the video with your friends, because guys, we have some look. So last week, I'll tell you guys when we come back, but yeah, last week I wasn't able to be with you guys last week. So look, we catching up a little bit. So we're going to be talking about some of the states are closing, so what happens to your business. We're also talking about tax day. July 15th is tomorrow. Look, see, I got bags under my eyes. I'm tired, y'all, and everything. So if you are curious as to what you could be doing to protect your business from closing, and also to get your stuff in on time to meet tomorrow's deadline, then you definitely want to tune in into tonight's show, and then also share the video with your friends. So guys, guess what? Follow us on all things social media, Folasade the accountant, and we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so let me give you guys just a little updates. We got kind of go on a personal note too. So last week, my basement flooded. We had like a tropical storm here. It flooded. It rained almost 2.5 feet here, and so I woke up Tuesday morning. No, yep, Tuesday morning, thinking I was going to have an amazing day. Right, go downstairs with my cup of coffee, touch the carpet, and my whole basement, when I tell you, from my little gym area, from my closet to every room in my house was completely flooded. So I was not able to have the show last week due to that. And then honestly, guys, I don't even know how I made it today because tomorrow is tax day. So we're going to talk about tax day and your tax deadlines and stuff in segment 2. But right now, we're going to dive right into what COVID-19 is starting to drum up again. So, many states were already on their phase 2, phase 3 of their reopening initiatives, right? And so due to the protests, people being hard-headed, acting like children, want to wear masks and don't want to comply, and still having barbecues, family cookouts, events. Look, y'all, you guys are showing off. You're still doing the most, right? Okay, and now guess what? You guys are passing the virus and the numbers are going up and up and up. So due to that, many states were already reopening them. Florida then opened up. Some chick, I should have had the video for y'all. She was like, do not put Miami in the same sentence as Florida. Miami is its own state. I was just cracking up laughing. But look, that's how some people feel. So look, guys, at most these states were on their phase 2 and phase 3 of reopening. Businesses were starting to see, some growth, and some businesses were starting to see not only growth but steady stream of income, and they were also starting to enjoy some of the travel money. Well, the travel expenditure. So every summer, the travel industry know that they're going to make a certain amount during the summertime. So guess what? Due to COVID, the airlines were out, everybody. So guess what happened? No one was able to anticipate how much revenue that they were going to possibly make. However, now, due to the rise again of COVID-19, many states will have to close. So guys, we're looking at a CNBC article that was released actually July 9th. Well, time is flying, guys. That's just last week. It says states with severe coronavirus outbreaks should seriously look at shutting down, Dr. Fauci says. So, okay, so California, Texas, and so many other states are starting to have increase in numbers. And, Florida governor, guys, is just being reckless with everything and is not considering the health of his residents. Okay, so this article says states with rapidly expanding coronavirus outbreak should seriously consider shutting down, like the country did when the virus first hit the U.S. in March. White House health advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci said his comments Wednesday come as the U.S. continues to push records for new cases reported each day, driven primarily by states in the South and West across the so-called Sun Belt. So that's that Atlanta. Look, all y'all Southerners, y'all showing off down there. Like I even seen a little house party, not even a house party, like a whole block party of people partying in Atlanta. It's crazy. So what we're seeing is exponential growth. It went from an average of about 20,000 to 40,000 and 50,000. That's doubling. If you continue doubling, 2 times 50 is 100. Fauci said on a Wall Street Journal podcast. Any state that is having a serious should seriously look at shutting down. It's not for me to say because each state is different. So if you guys don't know, each state has their own laws, okay? So, in terms of the criminal law, there's a difference between state law and federal law, and the same thing is applicable in normal type of cases, legal cases, right? There's federal law and then there's state law. So right now the states are in control over 100% of what they want to do. They want to reopen, they can. If they don't, if they want to test it, they can. Like, they're their own little so-called country, but they're a state. All right. So with that being said, Florida has shown off, don't want to. So what does that mean for you guys, all you small businesses that's out there? If the numbers continue to rise and the states retract their reopening efforts and go back to phase 1, or just go back to 100% quarantine, right? How would your business survive? So if I were you and I was a business owner, I would grab my pen, my paper, because I'm about to give you guys some notes and some actionable steps so you can actually try to get some stuff done and transition and pivot your company, because it looked like, honestly, from what the data is showing, and I would have been a little bit more prepared for today's show, guys, with the data. I've just been kind of getting, look, with the house and everything else, right? Bear with me. Okay, so with the data, everything is rising. So if I were you and you have a brick and mortar in these urban, higher ranked COVID case areas, I will make sure I have my facility compliant with social distance requirements. So even if your state is not requiring that you guys comply with 6 feet, this social 6 feet distancing and all that stuff, I will make sure my facility is already capable of doing that. So I can tell my patrons, come on, you can come over here. We're good to go. You social distance, your party here, your party there. So that's one thing. I will prepare to, one, social distance in your facility if you have not done that yet. The second thing I would do is just make sure that I can incorporate some form of delivery or concierge service. Delivery or concierge services. So in most urban, not necessarily urban, but hip, what do they call them? Cities. In most cities, like, I used to be a concierge. At the front desk of all the high-rise buildings is the concierge rep, right? Certain amenities and luxury for the residents. So in your case, as a business owner, how could you incorporate the concierge aspect, right, into your business where you can help them solve problems? If you sell liquor, then add on other products that that goes along with liquor. So they might want some chips, some cigarettes, some this and this and that, and offer as a delivery service. Okay. If you deliver food, right? Then what else do they need? Do you have a fancy restaurant? Do you have like a couples bundle where they can buy a bottle of champagne, some wine glasses, and maybe some candles? Like, guys, this is the time now when you have to get really creative. We have to get really creative with all of our offerings. We have to get really creative, and especially all of you that are in like the coaching business and stuff like that. This is the time. In all actuality, honestly, every business. So number 3, get creative. Okay, get creative, get unique. I see some women online, they're doing big things like with their launches and their books. Like, they are getting extremely creative with their summits and virtual events. Like, guys, if you're going to do anything, it must be unique and it must be creative. Like, people don't just want to flop in front of the TV or in front of the Zoom like this. They want something to, encourage engagement and encourage community. So make sure that whatever you do, it is creative. Okay. The fourth thing that you guys want to make sure that you have in place is that you have a functioning website. Okay, so for example, they should be able to order food from their phone. Make sure you don't necessarily need to have a mobile app. You have to have your website with mobile capacity. Okay, so a lot of people are being duped to think that they have like apps, but in all actuality, all they did was turn the website into mobile functionalities, and you can do the same thing. So what does that mean? That means when someone get on their cell phone, they can purchase almost every package, every service, all of your food, all of everything that you offer right from the click of their phone. If your services does not allow people to sit in front of their computer or in front of their home and purchase your products, then you're going to lose out every time. So make sure purchasing is extremely convenient and you have a mobile friendly website and functionalities going on. Number 5, make sure you have your Google listings. Make sure you have your placements. So for example, especially all of my service providers, we really don't need to have a brick and mortar, but we do need to be listed. So if somebody says tax services in Largo, Maryland, or tax services in Clinton, or tax services in Maryland, then my company should pop up, right? If my company didn't pop up, that means I didn't do my work. So go ahead on and search yourself in Google and see if your company even show up within your area, especially if you service B2C, meaning to consumers, okay? So I think that's number 5. And then last but not least, guys, you have to get active now with your email list. You have to get active with your email list. And me and my team are starting to beef up our email list communications and resources and stuff like that as well for our clients, because people have so much more extra time on their hand that they're consuming so much more data and information. And why not consume your information? Okay, so you want to go ahead and make sure that you are communicating you're communicating often to your customers or your prospects via emails. You don't always have to sell, but you do need to talk and communicate with them. Okay, so guys, I hope that you took some notes, because that was just right off the top of my head. I have no notes. I have all my tax notes, but I can remember some of them, right? So I may be all over the place, and then I tried to write them down, and yeah. So make sure you have a mobile-friendly website. Make sure, I'm going to do a brief recap. Make sure you have your Google listing, okay? And then, also, especially during tough times, make sure your terms and conditions are very straightforward. Make sure your terms and conditions are very straightforward and your contracts are in place. Because during tough time, people always want to find somebody that they can sue or place them as the scapegoat or hold them responsible or accountable for their mess. And if you don't have your contracts in place, if you don't have your terms and conditions in place, then guess what? You're going to end up being taken advantage of, like many entrepreneurs are doing right now. So guys, let me go right back to the article really quick. Okay. So with the many states, guys, give me 1 second. Papa, I am live. Hold on. I am live. Here. Papa Day. Look. Okay, so it says the country has reported about 52,444 new cases per day on average over the past 7 days, up to 20.3% when compared to last week. So this is the thing, guys. They don't really want us to, well, first of all, Dr. Fauci is being slammed through the press, okay, in terms of him being lack reputability, whether or not he's legit and his level of integrity. And Trump is saying that he's made mistakes before. But what we've always found is that when people are really right and go against the grain, politicians and people always want to bash them as being a conspiracy theorist and all of that stuff. But in this particular case, as a business owner, and you have to put yourself in a real business owner's shoes right now. So this is why you always need to do the basics. Remember that SWOT analysis, your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats, right? Right? You remember the SWOT analysis. So right now, COVID-19 is an actual threat to a lot of your businesses. But because you have not done your full SWOT analysis during this tough time, to see really where opportunities are, your strengths and everything, so you can leverage this time, you have to realize that if you don't pivot effectively, you may not survive. So taking those 6 steps that I gave you to get your business in a position to make money as seamlessly as possible and to stay afloat if your state was to close. So now you have to ask yourself, if you are a cook, do you have a driver readily available? Do you have multiple drivers readily available to deliver your food? Okay. Or are you going to offer curbside? If you have a boutique, what you going to do? Get a mobile van and go to locations, to people's homes? Like, this is the time now, guys. You got to dig in your pockets, dig in your purses, and really be creative and figure out what is your next move, because our lives will have changed. But from your business perspective, this can be detrimental if they close again and you don't pivot. And here's why. There's so much hoopla in the air about an additional stimulus payment. Treasury Munich didn't say nothing about it yet, okay? Those are just press doing projections or, forecasting. Oh, they're going to give us another stimulus payment. That's not guaranteed, okay? Then also, you can only really get one EIDL loan unless they change the regulations and allow small businesses to apply again to get additional funding so they can sustain during the next wave. Because honestly, we're only thinking 2 months ahead, talking about they're going to close in 2 months. But how will our business ecosystem be in 6 months? Okay. So right now, there's just so much speculation in the air and a lot of uncertainty. So if I were you right now as a business owner, I would just basically put all of my everything into myself and grind hard and build your business where it's not dependent upon actually touching your customers, okay, and physically being with them and being around them. So even restaurants, this might be a time for you guys to get creative, or somebody to create an app for restaurants where they can set up a time for them to eat. The food will be delivered to their house, and then they can have their girlfriends do a Zoom or something. I don't know. But look, I'm just thinking, right? This is the time for all of you smarties, all my innovators, all of my entrepreneurs now to dig in those hats and start putting out all of those sketches and all of those bright ideas that you have in your package out there, because you really don't have much to lose. Another thing, the states are lifting their restrictions in terms of foreclosures, in terms of utility bills, restrictions in terms. So when it's a state of emergency, most of the states said that the utility companies' mortgages, they cannot, like the court system is no longer going to accept evictions and foreclosures, right? So those restrictions are being lifted soon. By the end of July, there are going to be a lot of new foreclosure and eviction cases. So, and the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because if you haven't been paying your bills, it's time that you figure out how to do it before they go ahead on and start processing your paperwork. Because just like the IRS, if you owe them, you're going to start getting notices after tomorrow. They will start collection procedures. So same with your court cases and everything else. Okay? So guys, look, that was a mouthful. Buckle up because we're just beginning this journey and our lives have forever and our business lives will have forever changed. So we might as well adjust, get acclimated, and make the best of it. So guys, give me a few minutes. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. Look guys, okay. So segment 1, we talked about many states will be closing their business. So if you're just tuning into the Money Zone, you want to catch the replay on ripradionetwork.com. And then don't forget, guys, to join our mailing list at bit.ly / I think it's the Money Zone. Let me see. Leo didn't put it here. So yeah. bit.ly / oh yeah, no, he didn't put it on there. So we're gonna say go to Folasade Leads. And then also if you would like to advertise here as well, go to bit.ly / be on the Money Zone as well. So segment 1, we talked about what your business should do. I gave you guys 6 tips that I've already done that has allowed me to be able to stay home and my team to stay home. And I hope that those strategies, and I hope that those strategies, if you incorporate them, will allow you to be able to work from home and build your team in your business as well. So guys, look, as you can see, the bags are here. Look, I had just had to throw on the wig for you guys. Look, take a quick little shower. But to be really honest with you guys, I am not overwhelmed. I'm at peace, not stressed too much. I'm overworked today. And the reason being is because today is July 14th and tomorrow is July 15th, which is tax day, right? The last day of tax season. So normally tax day is April 15th, right? But due to COVID, they extended the tax due date till tomorrow, July 15th at 11:59 p.m. So what does that mean for you? That means, and look, these people ready to go crazy on y'all and start collections and everything, right? I don't know if the IRS is bored, the state is bored, whatever the case may be, but they're ready. So what does that mean? That means that all of your payroll taxes are due. Okay, unless you did some type of deferment, okay? All of your payroll taxes is due. Both federal and state withholding taxes are due. The second thing that's due is your sales tax withholding, okay? Most states gave extensions, and so all of your sales tax payments are due tomorrow. In addition to that, your tax extension, if you're not going to file your tax return, is due tomorrow. Your tax return is also due tomorrow. And then your first and second quarter estimated tax payments are due. Didn't that sound like a lot? Right? That sounds like a lot, right? Okay. Your corporation tax return due tomorrow, or the extension will be due. So guys, basically tomorrow is your day. If you haven't focused on your taxes since, even with the extension, because I know a lot of my clients, we've been getting calls in the office, and I know tomorrow Randy's going to be upset at y'all because she's going to be getting a lot of calls tomorrow too, putting people on the extension list and everything. But the beauty of it is this: after tomorrow, if you get your extensions in, you get to breathe a little bit. You get to breathe a little bit, right? So what do I mean by that? So that means you get up until October 15th to file your tax returns, okay? So that means your corporation tax return will be due October 15th, and your individual tax return will be due October 15th if you were to put an extension in tomorrow. But let's be clear. If you owe, right, the extension does not, I'm going to repeat that, does not give you an extension or an additional time to pay your taxes. It just gives you an additional time to file your tax return, okay? Additional time to file your tax return, not an additional time to pay your taxes. Are we clear? Okay? So even if you owe, please send the IRS, send the state something tomorrow, so by the time they send you your notice or you file your tax return, you won't get hit with an excessive amount of interest and penalty charges because you would have paid some of your taxes by the due date. So any taxes that are due after tomorrow that you do not pay is subject to interest and penalty charges. Okay? Even if you have an extension in. So this is them guys where you have to now buckle down. And let me give you guys, all my business owners, and I'm going to do additional live stream and some additional content around this. But to sum things up, guys, I know many of you probably do not take this accounting stuff serious. I've been talking about this accounting stuff online for years now. It's going on five years now. And some of you are taking it serious, but majority of you have still not understood the importance of it. So I'm going to give you guys a real world story, a scenario. One of my clients today, thank goodness I did not rush and submit their tax return because they didn't even sign the paperwork for me to be able to submit it. So good thing I didn't overlook that and submit the tax return. Come to find out, the client messaged me this morning saying, hey, Folasade, I forgot to include over $50,000 worth of income on my tax return. That was my facial expression. What? So, long story short, how many of you are collecting cash payments using Cash App, Square, Zelle, everything, and you are not having proper bookkeeping done? You're going to be just like my client. But what happened is this. Because they didn't know that they had that additional $50,000 in income, their PPP loan was much less than what it should have been. Their EIDL loan was much lower than it should have been. Okay? Then they didn't anticipate owing as much money in taxes as they did. And then also, I could have better prepared them, okay, and restructured their business and got some tax savings on that arena if we would have been better prepared, if we would have been keeping proper records. Also, the client also exposed themselves to an audit. When you understate your income by so much, it's only grounds for an audit. So that means he's going to mess himself up for years to come. His tax returns from years to come will be reviewed. Now they're going to be questioning him on everything that he provided me to do his taxes. And now the question is this: do they have the proper records to back it up? Without the bookkeeping, it may not be. So guys, this person ended up, just because they're to save $4,000 to $5,000 a year in bookkeeping, this person almost exposed them to an audit that would have cost them $30,000 to $40,000, $50,000. This person then lost money in the loan amount that they could have gotten in the PPP, and then also the EIDL. So in all actuality, if you add those numbers up, it's not worth the loss that that client has garnered today. Is not worth avoiding paying me $5,000 to do his bookkeeping a year. So why am I telling you guys this right before the due date tomorrow? Because I know many of you don't have your bookkeeping in order, and you're going to scrounge around trying to figure out what your expenses are, what you spent in your business, and you don't have your stuff in order. We are in 2020, the year of artificial intelligence, like none of this stuff, or the virtual reality, right? The year of virtual reality, right? The reality is this: if you don't do your accounting, you're not even operating a business. If you're not willing to pay somebody to do your accounting, or for you to even try to do it yourself, to do things right, you might as well just close your business. Because guess what? That means you're not willing to work hard enough so you can have your business in good standing and in compliance and have your stuff in order. We are going into a time that you guys have to take responsibility. You cannot accountant one day before. Like, it's not professional. It's okay. We want to get it done because this is what we do and we're used to it. But to protect your business now, we have to think about this. You are exposing yourself to a lot of liabilities. When you play around with IRS, two type of liabilities: criminal liability in terms of fraud, all right, and tax liability. So you're exposed in two arenas, okay? When it comes down to your bookkeeping and all of that stuff, you're also exposed to financial fraud. Are you misrepresenting your financial information, using it to get loans and, do other things? And guess what? The information isn't correct. So that's financial fraud. So how are you now going to ask yourself, was it really worth putting your business in those tight corners just to avoid $4,000 a year in bookkeeping fees? It doesn't add up. That is one of the responsibilities of being in business. And the only way, as a business owner, you can know if you're paying the right amount of taxes is if your books are done. For all of you small businesses that are not doing your bookkeeping, you are setting yourself up to be right in that tight corner that you're in right now for the lifetime of your business, because you don't know what's going on. You don't know your story. You just claiming anything on your taxes, not even knowing that you're going to jam yourself up. I have clients, guys, that didn't even know what they were getting themselves into. Them jammed themselves up, came to me, tight situation, because the IRS had them investigating them under criminal charges because they were just throwing anything, and they said it in now, right? Throwing anything on the taxes, right? So the amount was so significant that they ended up having criminal charges brought against them, okay? And then the bad part about it is it's haunting them today. It's haunting them today. Every contractor that my client get, they have to withhold taxes, backup withholding. That's embarrassing. That means your business been doing some shady tax stuff, and the IRS is trying to make sure they get their money. So basically what I'm concluding is what you guys do in the dark is always going to be exposed in the light. If you don't do your bookkeeping, if you don't do your accounting, if you don't do the back end stuff of your business and run it the way you're supposed to, it's going to show in the front end. It's going to show when your business don't prosper. It's going to show when you get audited and you don't have the paperwork to back it up. It's going to show when you don't have the data to grow and leverage. It's going to show when you cannot get investors because you don't have the data. And it's going to show when, guess what? It's time for you to cough up money because you didn't claim every expense and you wasn't doing your bookkeeping. So you overlooked a lot of stuff that was tax deductible. So my question to all of you is, if you want to be a business owner, don't sacrifice your bookkeeping. Get your bookkeeping, do your marketing, build your business. If you cannot even afford doing your bookkeeping or trying to do it yourself, then you need not to be running a business right now. And the reason why I say this is because the government is going to have to recover that $3 trillion. No, I think it's more than that, right? That $3 trillion that they gave us through the stimulus and the loans and everything else, right? They're going to have to recover that money some way, somehow. And the way that they recover that money is through the law, tax law, criminal law, tickets, everything, okay? The states have to recover their money. The federal have to recover their money. So what's going to happen is they're going to beef up audits. They're going to beef up everything. Even people that ended up doing this unemployment stuff, they're investigating people that did unemployment fraud already. They're already investigating people. So guys, this is not the time to think that you do not have to pay attention to important tax due dates like tomorrow, tax day. This is not the time to think that it's okay not to do your bookkeeping and run your business the way it's supposed to be ran. We are in a very abnormal year and it's time for us to do some abnormal things, which is supposed to be normal, and do our bookkeeping and our taxes and get our stuff in order. This is our year. This is our time, guys. And I just want to let you guys know everything is due tomorrow. Everything is due. Tax due dates. Every tax is due tomorrow. Okay. So that should sum it up, guys. Let me get back in because I got extensions and tax returns and stuff to submit and tax returns to upload. So my clients can review them as well. So we have a busy night. And so, guys, look, I'll see you guys, I think, next week, right? Then I'll be a little rejuvenated, right? The week might be a little bit fresh. Okay. All right. All right, guys. So love you guys. Don't forget, join our mailing list, bit.ly/Folasade leads. If you're interested in promoting your company on the Money Zone, go to bit.ly/get notified. I think it's hold on. Thought I had it in the memory. Okay. TMZ for the Money Zone, get notified. Okay. And then if you want to sponsor the show as well, go to bit.ly/be on the Money Zone. So guys, look, I will see you guys next week. I'll be very refreshed, not stressed, and I'll have all your taxes submitted, and hopefully you guys get your extensions submitted by tomorrow. Send the IRS some payments, get on your installment plans, and do what's required. Do not push things back any further. You procrastinated so far. Let's not procrastinate anymore, guys. All right. Have a good night.